Hey everybody, my name is Ross Turner and welcome back to this teaching series on 10 Secrets of Extraordinary Church Growth, The Funnel, a book that I wrote. And it talks about 10 different secrets of the ways to use marketing, digital marketing, branding, and to expand your reach, to reach more people than you know how to, just naturally waiting for people to come to your church. How do we understand marketing and use it effectively for our church, for our ministry? I'm going to show you. This is secret number 9, and if you haven't watched the previous videos, I would encourage you to go do that. They're all here on our YouTube channel, and they really set the precedent for what we're going to be talking about here on secret number 9. If you don't know me, my name is Ross Turner. I am the founder of Vibrant Agency. We are a church marketing and communications staffing company, so we join your staff at your church and become, kind of your communications director at the church, doing all things graphics, video, marketing, all that. So I'd love to connect with you. This is secret number 9, and the title is called Secret Number 9, Understanding Google Marketing. So we're going to talk about all things Google and how to use it effectively for your church, for your ministry, to reach more people. And so let me start with this. It says in the book, many church leaders don't understand what to do with Google. Some churches avoid Google marketing and do nothing with it, while other churches are overly obsessed with Google marketing. They think that it should be the catalyst for their whole marketing strategy. Which route is the best approach? Well, to be honest, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So we spent a lot of time talking about social media and the power that comes from the content that you're posting and from running ads to reach more people with social media. Well, there's a lot of power when it comes to using Google. Google and all things related to Google is the long game, whereas social media is more of the immediate game. So you do want to understand that you're building brand, you're building trust with people over the long haul, but when you stop posting content on social media or you stop running ads on social media, the results kind of stop. But with Google, they can last much longer. They can last kind of forever. And so if you put the work into having great content on Google and all things related, then that will outlive your efforts. It will last longer. It will start to improve over time. And so it's definitely a valuable thing to go into. In this secret number 9 teaching, we are going to discuss SEO, Google Business Profile, YouTube, Google Ads, and I'm going to show you my screen as I set up a Google ad, and the Google Grant. If you haven't heard about the Google Grant, we're going to talk about it here at the end of this video. Secret, you could have up to $10,000 per month of free ad spend, something for us to definitely look into. All right, here's the first section when it comes to setting the groundwork, okay? Google marketing is such an important piece in the puzzle. When somebody sees your church on Google, it is because they were looking. On Facebook and Instagram marketing, we don't know if the individual seeing our ad is really currently looking for a church or a life change. But with Google, your website is shown to people who are actively searching for things like churches near me. So it's a major difference. In the secular world when it comes to marketing, there's 2 terms. There's warm leads and there's cold leads. Warm leads and cold leads. And so what do they mean by that? A warm lead is somebody who sought you out, filled out a contact form, called your company. They were interested and they kind of sought you out. And that is a higher value lead in the marketing world than a cold lead, which is somebody who's just, maybe listening to the radio and they hear a radio ad. They weren't looking for anything to do with that brand or business. It just happened upon them that they saw an ad. Well, that world is more in the social media world. Somebody's just scrolling and all of a sudden they see your ad. They weren't looking for you necessarily. Google has some major value there because you're dealing primarily in warm leads. Somebody who is searching for something that tells you that they are looking for a church. They are looking for whatever topics are covered in the landing page that you're advertising. So they are essentially a warm lead. So there's a lot of value to put into the time required to build up a great Google presence. Okay, so warm lead, cold lead, you got to understand it from that context. Google is a crucial part of your marketing funnel. So don't ignore it just because it's confusing. Absolutely true. The things I'm about to go over in this teaching are much less exciting and user-friendly than Instagram ads or Facebook or TikTok. Those things have, built-in fun. Instagram is more of the science part of your brain. It's a little bit more boring. It's a little bit more cold. It's a little bit more dry, but it is valuable. Don't overlook it just because it's not as fun as Instagram and Facebook and social media content. So here we go. Let's start with SEO. Getting SEO right. What is SEO? Search engine optimization. What is a search engine? Google is by far the main one, but you've got Bing. And technically, Instagram search and YouTube search, those are all search engines. But what we're talking about when you're typically talking about SEO, you're talking about Google. That's where the lion's share of the traffic is. So how can we get SEO right? First and foremost, you have to understand, if somebody says, how's your SEO? It is something that's going to be asked of you, especially when it comes to your website. You will think about it at some point. How's our SEO? Well, that conversation probably started because somebody went and searched for some Google terms and your website is either the top result and you're proud, or it's barely even on the first page, if even on the first page, and you're disappointed and you kind of try to figure it out. And you're like, how do I fix our SEO? How do I fix the fact that we're not appearing well on searches on Google? Well, there's two things that have to happen to be really proud of your SEO. Number one, it is about how your website was built in the first place. So each page on your website, when we're making a website for a church, every page has intentionality with how the words are, how the images are titled, how the headings are, what sentences are used on the page. It's done with intentionality so that Google, when it reads your website, knows what you're all about. We're intentionally using the words to sync up with Google so that you will be one of the results organically on search results for the terms that you're looking for. So some people that sell SEO services, they are talking about going through and doing what they would call a website audit and finding little weak points in the various pages and settings of your website that can just naturally over time improve your website's results on Google's. This is the most important part. The other part is an ongoing set of efforts that you can do to improve your rankings for your website. So this is typically called content marketing. This is where you're essentially writing blog posts or adding new landing pages with the intent of having new content related to the search terms that you're going for. So let's give an example here. Let's say you want to rank for a search term like a church in Brentwood, Tennessee, or contemporary church in Brentwood, Tennessee. Well, you want your website to rank for that and have it built up with some of that, but maybe it's smart to really throw some gasoline on that fire and write a blog about Brentwood, Tennessee, and how your church is a part of the community. As a church in Brentwood, Tennessee, we believe in being part of the community and pointing people to Jesus. And you write an article, it's really all about kind of being a church in Brentwood, Tennessee. So now, when you do that kind of stuff, maybe once a week or once a month, you're in the realm of ongoing SEO efforts, which is highly valuable. That's really like why you see so many Reddit, posts as Google ranking, because they're just constantly having new people contribute to blogs that are about relevant topics. That is a little bit impractical for a lot of churches to be constantly writing new articles. The main thing, at least for a church, is you want to make sure you have your website set up properly from the get-go. So what I would do is I would say, what are maybe 3 or 4 search terms that we really, really want to rank for. So we're in Brentwood, Tennessee conversation right now. So let's say you want to be like ranking for a church in Brentwood, Tennessee. Well, I would make sure the homepage of your website says Life Church, Church in Brentwood, Tennessee, Christian Church, Brentwood, Tennessee. And that would make sure that there's like a heading or an H2 or like a secondary heading somewhere on the homepage that says a church in Brentwood, Tennessee for the community. Something that's natural, but uses those terms that you're looking for in the page titles, in the headings and the subheadings, and even in the titles and the descriptions of your images. So don't just, upload an image that says image1.jpg or PNG or whatever. That's an opportunity to add a title. Church in Brentwood, Tennessee, and then the description is worship at Life Church in Brentwood, Tennessee. Adding those words helps Google to understand what this website is about, and that, hey, if somebody searches for a church in Brentwood, Tennessee, this website right here is all about that, and it connects the dots. It takes intentionality to do that. That is how you need to make sure that your website is set up. Go through, do your own audit for searches that you think are important, and where are some ways that I can add those naturally throughout our website. Okay? Next one, Google Business Profile. Let's talk about your Google Business Profile. One of the most boring things that a lot of people don't even think about is your Google Business Profile. It is one of the most low-hanging fruits that you can have when it comes to SEO. I have found a very surprising statistic. Just yesterday, I was sending a report to one of the churches that we work with on how they're doing with SEO, and I sent a report on YouTube and their keywords that they're going for, and I also sent a report on their Google Business Manager. And I was surprised that this church, which is a relatively small church, had around 340 clicks from their Google Business Profile. Some of them were call us click, most of them was a click to the website. And so you're talking about a highly relevant number of people who are warm leads finding your church and clicking on it to learn more. You need to update that Google Business Profile. You need to have brand new, fresh pictures from the current season that you're in. You need to make sure the description is one that's catchy, relevant, has the keywords in it. You need to make sure that you have those buttons set up, like the call us, the message us, service times, location, have your directions set up. Have that Google Business Profile be one that you're proud of, that represents your ministry well, because a high number of clicks will come from that. If you don't have control of your Google Business Profile, you have to get that. Go and find out which email address is associated with your Google Business Profile. Spend a couple hours and optimize that thing. Get the logo icon looking good. Get the photos looking good. Get it to a point where you're proud of it. And then I recommended in some other videos that you use Metricool for your stats and your social media. Metricool also connects to your Google Business Profile, and you can just see your stats. How many people per month are looking at our Google Business Profile, and you will be surprised. Set that thing up. It is connected to SEO. Use your keywords in it, and that will be a vital part of your clicks to your website each month. Next, let's talk about YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube. What is the YouTube influence? First off, if you didn't know, Google owns YouTube. They used to be separate entities, but Google many years ago bought YouTube, and now the two are very intertwined. You can search for, pretty much anything on Google, and you will see normal web results, and you'll also see YouTube results. The two are very tied together. So SEO principles that work on Google also work on YouTube. One of the things that pains me a lot is when churches are completely all in on non-YouTube platforms for the archives of their sermons each week. You're missing out on an immense number of Google results and clicks to your website and brand awareness if you're going in on platforms that are non-YouTube, like Vimeo and the other ones. I highly recommend that you go all in with YouTube, because your search results, just the topics, let's say you're doing a series on marriage, and people are searching for terms like that in your area, your videos will also become results in the searches. So you need to spend some time and you need to optimize your YouTube channel. Well, what does that mean? I want you to have a banner that you're proud of with your service times that works good and it's cropped well on mobile and tablet and desktop. And I want you to have a pinned introduction video. So when somebody goes to your church's YouTube page, they're seeing an intro from the pastor, what your church is all about. I want you to have a description. I want you, if you really want to do YouTube well, if you're a church that does sermon series, I want you to make a playlist for each sermon series so people can browse accordingly. And the other thing that is really important with YouTube is I want you to still think about keywords when you're making the uploads of your YouTube video. I know that it takes a minute. I know that it's a little bit cumbersome. Have somebody on the team do it. Have your communications director do it. But you need to add pre-done footer of words that goes on every video. So you describe the sermon, what it was about, and then say, by the way, if you're not familiar with Life Church, we're a thriving church in Brentwood, Tennessee that meets every Sunday at 9 and 11 a.m. Here's our Instagram, here's our Facebook, here's our service times. Click here to learn more, and you can have that be on every video. So now continued connection for Google between your website, your channels, and the search results that you're going for. You should also add tags in your videos so that you're doing well on search results. And the other thing that I would recommend that you consider is doing YouTube ads. YouTube ads. Right now, as of the filming of this teaching, you see the one social media platform that I see a higher engagement rate with males versus females is YouTube. Usually Instagram and Facebook, you have a higher engagement rate, female to male ratio. In YouTube, there's more guys on YouTube than there are females, which I don't know what what the reasoning is. I just know that's what the stats show us. So there's some people that are browsing on YouTube that can be shown an ad only because they are in your target audience and have engaged with some of your previous videos. Maybe you want to film a short 15-second invite to your church or invite to your current sermon series. There is some untapped potential in YouTube ads. Now let's talk about Google ads. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you the best way that I know of to set up a Google ad, but there's some things that you want to understand about Google ads. How does Google ads fit into the funnel? First off, my philosophy is this. Google ads are very good and they are a part of your marketing funnel, but never at the sacrifice of social media ads. The lion's share of your results and your money should be spent on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe even TikTok. Google ads are important, but they're not one that I would go all in on and exclusively do your ads on. Never at the sacrifice of social media ads. That being said, it is still important. Here's what I would recommend. If you want to see some good results with your Google ads, I would say that you should make landing pages that are specific to the ad that you wrote instead of just directing everybody to the homepage. So if you've got a really well done I'm new page or visitors page, I would have content on your ads, your Google ads, direct people to that specific landing page. And I would use verbiage that's more tailored towards that search results instead of just generic ones. So let's say you're trying to go all in and say, I want to show ads to people who search for church in Brentwood, Tennessee. I would recommend that your results on your ad copy don't just be Life Church, join us this Sunday. It's good, but looking for a church in Brentwood, Tennessee, click here to learn more. That's more relevant to the search terms, and you can probably try 4 or 5 versions of those and see what ads give you the best results. I'm going to share my screen here. There's so many nuances with Google ads. I'm going to talk you through my thought process when I set up a new ad. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to have you watch with me as I run an ad specifically for a church. This is a church that I work with in Ohio. And I went to their Google Business Manager. You can see, their Google Ads Manager. And you can see that they're currently on this one. This is a blank one. So you can see all the menu options. But to start, what I do is I do a new campaign, okay? So let me talk you through each of these steps on the best way to run Google Ads for your church. So what is your objective? This is the same question that we went over that they'll ask you on Facebook Meta Ads Manager. I have almost always found with churches and ministries, website traffic is the way to go. Select a campaign type. What I tend to do is I tend to just do search. I truly hate display ads because it just gets sent out to random places like the App Store and seriously places that you would never even imagine needing your church to be. Search results is really what you want to do. So I'm going to add the church website right here. Okay. Page view. Show your ads to people who are most likely to view a page on your website. Yes. Campaign name, general, church, local searches. Now you can experiment with this yourself. So continue. Please select a goal. Page view. Got to click it. Agree and continue. So what do you want to focus on? Conversions, which is good. But you have to have a conversion event set up. So that's really effective when you're talking about asking people to sign up for something, fill out a form, or buy something. For us, what we're looking for is clicks, okay? Let's go to next. Here's what I really recommend. Get out of the display network. That's showing your ads in places that you really didn't want to. And just like with Facebook and Instagram ads, they try to push you towards it. I don't recommend it at all, okay? Include Google search partners? Absolutely not. I just am focusing on Google. So I always recommend selecting that. Here's the other thing you want to do. Don't do all countries and territories. You want to do enter another location. And for this church, I'm going to do Canton, Ohio. Okay? And I usually do nearby. Let's do Canton, Ohio city. Let me do another one. Canton, Ohio. Let's do nearby. And let's select some of the postal codes. Looks good to me. All those postal codes. So that's basically every one of those. So now I've really got the area. I've got that area really good. Target, present or interested people in or regular in, or have shown interest in that area. No, thank you. I want the people who live there, who are there in the location. For this church, they're English. We don't have any custom audiences set up. That's okay. Broad match keywords. So here's something that you got to understand. You want to figure out if you want your keywords to be, according to Google, just like a loosely fit version or exactly what they're searching for. And that's something for you to do. So for this one, it's going to be broad match. Let me check on the ad rotation. That looks good so far. Okay. So here they're going to be doing their AI assisted teaching. There are ways to do that. I like to skip that. I don't do that. I like to manually do it. Okay, so here's where you get into the keywords. So I like to not have them suggest them for me. I want to type in the keywords that I'm interested in, and I keep this somewhat small. So this is a church in Canton, Ohio. So I'm going to go like this. Church in Canton. Church in Canton, Ohio. Church in Canton, OH. Churches in Canton. And you can continue. Probably the best is to have around 20 of these. But please pay attention to this right here. You can either have an exact match, a phrase match, or a broad match. So let me explain what these mean. A broad match is when you allow Google to just kind of think what the person searching might have meant. So maybe the person searching didn't mean to actually type in church in Canton. Maybe they were typing in something that's kind of unrelated, but Google would get confused. Like Church's Chicken in Canton. Sounds funny, but I have seen results that are like completely not what I was wanting to spend my money on. But if you leave your keywords like this, just wrote it in, Google's got the freedom to do that. But if you add the brackets around it, it's now an exact match. So instead of writing Church in Canton, if I add the brackets, now Google's only allowed to show my ad to people who literally type in those exact words in that exact way. Is that good? Kinda. That, in my experience, is a bit too extreme. Because what if somebody wrote Church in Canton but spelled it wrong, or Church in or around Canton? Well, now they won't be shown that ad, but I know that that's still my target person. So that's too intense. So the one that I recommend is the keyword phrase match. And that is when you put it in quotes. Now you tell Google, I want to show my ad to somebody who is basically searching for that. And that is, phrase match is the one that I always do. So apply to all is what I would do for phrase match. And then you continue here writing your ad and then hit publish. So I hope showing you that helped. That's how I set up the ads. I recommend running a campaign for like general search terms, and then writing campaign for like if you're doing an event specific, like Easter in Canton, Ohio, or something like that. The last thing that I want to talk about is the Google Ad Grant. The Google Ad Grant. Did you know that your church can sign up and receive $10,000 a month in free ad spend if you go through the steps with Google? Sounds crazy, and people call me like, Ross, I need our church to sign up for the Google Ad Grant. I need that $10,000 of free money, and I get it. Let me explain a couple things about the Google Ad Grant. First off, the steps are you need to go to Google for Nonprofits, and you need to sign up your church and verify it as a nonprofit organization, and you can then go through the steps to get verified as a Google for Nonprofit, which, by the way, it can take a couple months. They are slow, but it is a legitimate thing. I've set this up for a countless number of churches, okay? Once you're verified as a nonprofit, they will allow you to run ads for free. That's one of the gifts that Google gives to nonprofits. Here's some things that make it less cool. With Google, you are bidding. The way that the Google ads work is it's a bidding process. If I would have gone one more screen further, it will ask, how much do you want to spend? And it will say you can either do it per month and set your bid. Let's say we want to spend $100 per month, and it will say, how much are you willing to spend for one person to click on your ad? We're like, well, I don't know. So let's say, for example, I'm working for a company and I'm selling coffee cups. And you realize, okay, if we sell one coffee cup, we profit $11. So how much am I willing to spend on one shopper's ad to get an $11 sale? Well, you kind of reverse engineer the math, maybe $3 or $4, whatever sounds right to you. So then you have to think, well, how many clicks from my ad does it take for somebody to actually check out and be a buyer? So maybe, I get 1 out of 10 sales. So then you kind of reverse engineer and do the math. Okay, well, I'm willing to spend $2 per click or whatever it ends up being to get that one sale. Anyways, your cost per click is going to be relevant to the competition. So if I'm selling coffee cups, but there's 20 other coffee cup companies and they're all saying, well, we want to advertise on Google. Well, we'll spend up to $4 per click. Well, that means their ad is going to be shown first, and the next highest paying person, their ad is going to be shown next, and the next highest paying per bid person there. And if you're not spending anywhere close to these guys, your ad might be on the 3rd page of Google results. Not that valuable. You really want to be the one on the top results. Well, here's the tricky thing with the Google Ad Grant is they cap you at $3 per click for a bid. Most of the time, people who want to really get their name out there are offering more than $3 per click. So yeah, with the Google Ad Grant, if you wanted to offer more than that, you'd have to pay real money. So to have it for free, you can do it, but you're capped at $3 per click. So you're not frequently on the top results. You're usually on the lower ones. Whenever I've gone all in with one of the churches we work with and optimized that thing as well as I can, it's usually good for about 200 to 300 clicks total per month. Still good, still free, takes some work, but it's not something to get too excited about. You're never going to be able to spend up to $10,000. Like that would have cost maybe $150 to $200, which is good, or maybe a little more than that, but it's nowhere near $10,000. But I still think that you should set it up. That's traffic that you wouldn't have had otherwise. I hope this teaching has helped you. This has been all things Google SEO related. If you have any questions, want to reach out to us, I can't wait to hear from you. My contact information is below. Our team at Vibrant Agency has deep experience with all things Google and search engine. Our next video is going to be a variety of secret number 10 of various tips and tricks and suggestions. I can't wait to see you on the next video.